everything's gone. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
You're about ready.
About.
Come. Come with me.
So today I'm here with Jessi Case, an actress who at just 22 years old has starred in multiple films with other big names in the industry. Known for her breakout role in Mother's Day, Jessi has come a long way. Her most recent movie, American Refugee, came out on December 10th, and there's more to come for her in the new year. I'm looking forward to chatting with you today, so let's get started. All right. So first off, you've done a lot of acting for being so young and in the movie industry. Can you talk about what inspired you to get into acting?
Absolutely. I believe also, thank you for the lovely introduction. My brother was the first actor in my immediate family. I had some cousins who were involved in it. And my brother was a pretty cute kid, so he got his foot in the door. And I ran lines with him a lot and was mostly his scene partner, getting him prepared for auditions and whatnot. I swear, I mostly learned how to read by reading these super dramatic scenes. And then I fell in love with it. And, luckily I had a lot of people who believed in me. It takes a village.
Exactly. So what pushes you essentially to keep going and to keep pursuing this dream?
I was having this conversation with my brother yesterday. We were actually talking about when you love something, why would you retire from it? Because how boring would that be? I think the endeavor, why do you think Robert De Niro still is working, even though he's accomplished so much in his career? I think when you have this insatiable desire to get better and to tell new stories, there's no reason to stop or pause or take a break. I feel like I learned so much from every project, and I'm excited to see what's ahead.
Yeah. So do you ever feel sort of stumped or do you ever feel like this industry gets to you? What do you do to push past those barriers?
I wouldn't say it's as much the industry as it is an obstacle that's self-made. Mm-hmm. Especially at the beginning of the pandemic, I think life felt so far from reality that it felt hard to portray a sense of reality. And that definitely made me feel creatively stumped. But I think the more opportunities and auditions and the more people acclimating to life on Zoom and being able to have acting class and really work that muscle, that creative muscle, helped a lot. And but it was definitely at the beginning, I think most creatives felt that as well. It was really hard to feel close to reality in a world that's felt so far from it.
Yeah, for sure. So your most recent movie that came out on December 10th, as I mentioned, American Refugee, you played a pregnant woman and a mom. So can you talk about that experience? I mean, how did you tap into that role? How did you do that?
It was a very new role for me to play. I think tapping into it was helpful in the fact that we have so many great actors to look at for advice with this type of a thing. Even in just watching Juno, because I looked up what are the most realistic birth-giving scenes, and Juno was one of them. And Elliot Page was just fantastic in that movie. Everyone was so great, and they did that story a lot of justice, and I wanted to be able to do the same thing. And obviously that's the beauty of being an actor or creator as well. I've never been a mother. I've never been pregnant. And yet we can create these stories in our heads that we can bring to life, even though we personally haven't experienced them yet.
Yeah. So who else would you say you got inspiration from besides Juno, Elliot Page? What else did you sort of seek out to play this role and do it justice?
I definitely asked my mom about being pregnant with me, and her experience was different because she had a C-section for myself and my siblings. And then also there was a grip on our set who we were consulting about nursing because she had most recently nursed. And there's a scene in the movie where I'm trying to nurse and she was saying how hard it was. And actually one of the writers, Allison Buckmeltner, she was saying she had some trouble nursing. I mean, I just found that out, but it's just so interesting that I was like, I didn't even know this was possible for it to be so challenging. And because obviously I haven't experienced that. And then the more people that watch it, the more you hear, oh my gosh, I completely related to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So, what was the hardest scene you had to do in the movie, I guess? And then the easiest scene as well, both on both ends.
Ooh, okay. I think it was pretty challenging to do. Oh, well, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a scene where I'm really, really upset and I'm holding, this actual live newborn baby. And that was pretty challenging because I think, getting to a place that's so dark because something really awful is happening in the movie at this point was challenging. But our director, Ali Leroy, he was really great at helping me get there and making sure that I was good. And your mind undergoes so much when you're an actor because you're putting yourself in your character's shoes. So I think that was challenging in that way because I've never experienced anything like my character Amber was experiencing in that moment, this kind of life or death time. But that was a great challenge to overcome. But I'd say I wouldn't say there's an easiest scene, but I think the easier scenes were the ones where, there's a lot. I actually don't think easy is like the right word, but when there's a lot of stuff going on, I think it's great because you're so involved in the other characters, the other actors as well, that your reactions come up naturally. It's not like you think, okay, in 3 seconds, I'm going to roll my eyes. You just do it because you are that character in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So it comes more naturally when you're around other actors who are doing in their mojo as well.
Yeah, just getting that inspiration from everybody. Yeah. All right, so let's get into those two scenes that I wanted to talk about. So the first scene.
Are you okay?
Everything's gone. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
You're about ready.
About.
Come. Come with me. Take this and this. That's good. No. And these. That's really all you need. Any nausea?
It's random.
Yeah. And come back sometimes. This. Slice it up. Put a little honey and lemon, hot water. I'm Helen.
Amber. I don't think I've seen you around here before.
My family just moved out here a few months ago.
Well, you picked a heck of a time.
This is the first time we met you in the movie, so can you talk about the details of that? Any behind the scenes or anything you want to give details on for that first scene?
That was actually the first scene that I shot, which is funny because that was in sequence, whereas a lot of times your first day you're shooting the last scene of the movie. So you have to, have your mind all over the page and know the script like the back of your hand. But that we shot at a pharmacy in New Orleans, and just on this set too, there were very dystopian vibes already because this is during the pandemic. So that was my first time meeting Erica Alexander, who is now one of my, she's a lifelong friend. I adore her. And my first time meeting Ali, it was my first day. So other than on Zoom, but that was a lovely experience. And it was getting into the groove when they've already been working at this point and feeling welcomed and feeling excited and feeling inspired is something that they made so easy to do because everybody was just very happy to be there, it seemed.
Yeah, awesome. And then scene B.
Told you to blindfold them.
They wouldn't put them on.
I didn't ask for you. Maddie, take her in.
Yes, sir.
Hey, have a seat.
Do you have any cramps or contractions with the bleeding?
No.
Maddie, come here.
There it is. That's the heartbeat. Very good. How about that? All right. I'm going to have to examine you.
All right.
How old are you?
All right.
This was, you didn't speak in this one, but the acting was obviously very powerful. You did a great job at that. So can you talk about this scene in specific, what that was like?
Yes, thank you. That scene, there was a lot of moving parts because we had stunt people as well. And obviously there was a prop gun and there was a lot happening. But I don't know, that was another one of those scenes where the reactions kind of come naturally because you are so in it, especially when the actors around you are doing such a great job of making this feel like real life. I'm shocked that after doing movies of this intensity, not more people come out of this like, I'm going straight to therapy because it is so dark and it's so intense and we're in a worldwide pandemic. So, it was great, but the other actors doing so well made it very easy to get into the mojo, get into the groove and have these reactions. And in my opinion, a lot of the scenes where you're showing what you feel rather than saying what you feel, those tend to be more powerful in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Okay, so those were the two scenes. I think you explained a lot of the behind the scenes and how those were like, so that's awesome. Let's talk about the future. So you have quite a few acting jobs lined up for the new year or later. So what roles should we expect to see you in? I don't know how much you can give away, but what are you working on?
Well, I just wrapped up a movie called On a Wing and a Prayer that we filmed in Atlanta with Dennis Quaid, Heather Graham, Jesse Metcalf, so many lovely people, directed by Sean McNamara. And it's a very great story. It's based on a true story, which is even more insane. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. And I really would love to do a comedy. That's like really high up on my list of things I want to do next right now. And have you seen the show Money Heist, La Casa de Papel?
I love that movie, that show, sorry. It's the best.
Yes, that is my dream because they're all brilliant. There's nothing that show doesn't have.
I know.
It's got the love, it's got the action, it's got the comedy, the funny moments. It's so brilliantly done, and that would just be a dream to be a part of something with that same level of intensity going on throughout the whole time. I mean, the stakes are just so high. It's so good.
I know.
So I want to do something like that. I've got quite an extensive vision board for the year of 2022.
Yeah, good. And then are there any other passions or arts you hope to pursue aside from acting? Is there anything else you see yourself doing?
Absolutely. So in the new year, I am planning to produce, direct, or co-direct, and I've already written a short film. And what's appealing about that to me as well is because, say you can tell a really powerful story in 10 minutes or less, that opens up a lot of doors for you to go, okay, look what I can do in 10 minutes. Imagine what I could do with an hour and a half. And so I'm super inspired by Greta Gerwig, Olivia Wilde, Ava DuVernay. Like I love how many female storytellers are getting into the spotlight and getting their seat at the table. And so I'd love to be part of that and get behind the camera as well and do some writing, directing, producing, all the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I've asked all my questions. Is there anything else you want to add about your recent movies? Anything else? Whatever you can think of.
There's a lot of fun stuff coming up. I think every time I was having this conversation the other day, I think every time something comes out, you filmed it maybe 6 months to a year ago. So you can look at it and go, okay, I would do a lot differently today than I did back then because you learned so much. It's like that meme, if you cringe, it means you've grown, that type of a thing. Because you've made growth since then. So, you know, every time a movie comes out, I'm so excited about it. And I've been very proud of what's been made and what's coming. So I'm looking forward to all of that. And I hope everyone's staying safe, happy, healthy, and having amazing holidays and a happy new year.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, well, that's all I have. Thank you so much, Jessi. I appreciate you taking your time and speaking to me about this. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the new year has in store for you.
Thank you so much, Camryn, and for you too.
Thank you.